Hi, I'm Seamless, and today I want to talk to you about something called native advertising. Native advertising is a kind of advertising that's a little bit like sponsored content, only not totally the same. Sponsored content is something where a video exists on a channel or an article is up on a news website or something like that that was paid for by someone who wanted either to support that particular article or to have that article be there, by their design kind of thing. An example would be like when I did the Lander video or any of those kind of like, this video is sponsored by, like, that's sort of sponsored content. Content I would not have necessarily done were it not, were I not paid to do it. It's not this entirely the same as native advertising. Native advertising is content that's created with the express purpose of being an advertisement, but without telling you it's an advertisement, with making it look like it's something that I just would have been doing, without it being expressly sort of stated that it is something that's paid for, that kind of thing. This exists in news all the time, and in fact, if you Google the term native advertising, you'll find all kinds of people who like point out examples of native advertising in huge news outlets, people like the Foxes and the CNNs of the world. There's also a South Park episode on the whole concept, which was really funny and very informative. So if you want to look at that, you can use that as a educational trip. So I want to talk about this though, because I want to state that at least from now on, because there were some times in the past where I wasn't fully sure about where I stood on the concept of using that kind of thing, but really I am not ever going to do native advertising. I will, however, have a lot of sponsored content. I will have things that people paid for, and I will tell you. It will be a thing, because I will say this video was brought to you by so-and-so. This video was sponsored by, this video was paid for by whatever. And unless it's something like a Patreon thing where if you look at my Patreon, one of the rewards is that you get a credit on a video and you get a mention in a video. And it's essentially as if you're doing that and then you are sponsoring that video, but that video was already going to happen that way, no matter what. In fact, most of the videos that I'm doing this because I'm actually planning on doing something similar in the coming future. And the videos that this is going to be in, they're going to be kind of mention these style things like that. Is the idea where I'm like, this video is brought to you by blah, 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 and blah, 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 here's what they're doing, here's the things, whatever. And then on with the video. The video itself is not necessarily going to be any different. And there will be later a video that is going to be sponsored in a sense. I got kind of a perpetual cold, and you're familiar with this about me, but it's going to be a video in a sense that I would not have necessarily made that video were it not paid for by the people that wanted to show off a particular product. And now, having said this, I kind of framed the idea of native advertising and sponsored content, and it's not necessarily the most friendliest light. And here I'm telling you that I'm about to do it, but the difference being is I'm going to tell you when I do it. I will tell you when a video is being sponsored. I will tell you when something that's in a video is paid to be there. Like, for example, you can see I have a bag of Doritos here. I'm not sponsored by Doritos. I just had Doritos there. And if you see a bag of Doritos now, you don't have to think to yourself, oh, he's being sponsored by Doritos. I'm not nearly big enough to be sponsored by Doritos. And if I were, I'd be like, this video is brought to you by Doritos. Oh my God. That's something that, I'd let you know. I don't have a problem with sponsored content. I really don't. People got to make money. This is something that something you do. And YouTube ad revenue, you hear a lot of YouTubers who tell you that YouTube ad revenue is not enough. And I don't think it's enough, but it's also not that bad. It's not a teensy amount of money. So eventually I want to get to the point where I can survive on just YouTube money by itself. That's going to be kind of a while, the years from now, but I wanted that to be kind of my goal. In the meantime, I got to supplement with stuff to do other things, and that sort of deal. But whenever that kind of thing happens on my channel, whenever someone wants to have a product advertised on my channel, beyond the literal ads that are on my videos, which by the way, I have no control over, but I will tell you when this happens. I will tell you that the video is being sponsored, the product is there because it's being sponsored. There's some speculation that when I did the Reactor 6 Blocks video that I was being sponsored by Native Instruments. And it'd be really funny because then that would literally be native advertising, but no, because I did that because I thought it'd be cool. There is a difference between pandering because I was being paid to, and pandering because I knew people would like seeing that kind of thing. It's like, you know, people don't do Minecraft Let's Plays because they're being paid for by Minecraft. They're being paid for by the millions of people who watch Minecraft videos constantly. So like that's, you know, not the same idea. This is all important for me anyway, because native advertising on like things that purport to be news is just downright evil. It's just like sinister, just deceptive and terrible even. And like, I don't want to do that. As I'm a bit lower stake, you know, because I'm not a news outlet. I teach people how to produce some stuff, but like, I'm also, I'm not going to like package information about like, you know, you should be doing this. And if you're doing this, you might as well use this person's plugin kind of thing. Like, unless I actually believe in it. Like I did a whole bunch of videos about Serum when Serum was new, and like I was beta testing Serum, but I wasn't paid for by Steve Duda to do that. I put those videos up because Serum is fucking awesome, and people wanted to know about it, and I wanted people to know about it because it was totally sweet. Note that I never said that Serum was that this was brought to you by Steve Duda, unless like Steve Duda was on the stream, because he was at one point. That kind of stuff, that's sort of how I differentiate the idea, is that like, if you see me do something, it's because I believe in it. And I'm saying this, and I'm kind of losing my thought right now, because I did the Lander video. And the thing about the Lander video is that I believed in what they're doing, but I tried really hard not to present it in such a way as really the way that they wanted to present it, because it's not like that. The whole service, the whole idea of the service, I think it honestly does have merit, just not the kind of merit that people would think I would think it would have. The idea of posing something as being instant mastering means that like, oh, I can just master my stuff and be done with it. No, it really can't do that. It's for other things that do have value for some people, but probably not most of you guys, which maybe would have made that a bit of an advertising mismatch, you know, for my channel. But that, like, I'm going to be a little bit more careful about decisions like that in the future, just because while I do kind of need the money, I don't need the money that badly that I'll just take anybody. So I gotta put my foot down somewhere, you know what I mean? But I will totally, like, especially like what's a good example? Well, okay, so the last cymatics video was where I was going through the presets. Like, I made an entire video that was just about cymatics. Like, I obviously wouldn't have done that if I wasn't being paid for it. It doesn't necessarily mean that I don't think they were nice. Like, the presets were cool. They were in the style of something that I would like. So it's not like fully beyond that. But even if it was, I knew that some people on my channel would like it. I knew that that's totally their thing. They're totally their bag. And I'm also not as against presets as people might think. But I also mentioned that this was brought to you by cymatics, and this is paid for. This is fully advertising, and that whole thing. And that's sort of the transparency that I want moving forward, because it's the transparency that I want in videos that I watch. Like, I do watch some videos, not necessarily about music production, but I watch some videos about that are somewhat educational and that present, you know, specific things in specific ways, and they're totally upfront about like how they get their gear, or what they're being sponsored for, or whatever, and that kind of thing. And it's important information, and you know, to do that kind of stuff. So yeah, to recap, native advertising is kind of a bad thing. Sponsored content, not so much. I want to err on the side of being more sponsored content, and less on the sort of secret, actually an ad, but not presented as an ad, and kind of trying to lie to you while making you think that I actually just believe this because it's my own personal idea, and hence selling you on that based on that idea. Not doing that. Just doing sponsored content where stuff got paid for, and now it's on my channel. Anyway, if you have any content about this, if you have any questions about this, please let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And as usual, have a nice day.